Assalamualaikum. Today my group will be presenting about the main factors that make the Malaysian electoral system advantageous to the ruling coalition, although elections continue to be vigorously contested by opposition parties. My name is Sofia Hana binti Rahmat and my members are Nur Akila Shahira binti Hamidi, Nur Anissa binti Amiruddin, Nurul Zulaika binti Azmi and Nur Izzati Kistina binti Shahruddin. Elections are a competition for the greatest political interest in a country, and the electoral system is a collection of predetermined norms for conducting elections and determining the results. Therefore, both the actual conduct of elections and the wider circumstances surrounding the election, such as the amount of civil liberties, opposition restrictions, and media access, may be separated from the electoral system. Election has a significant and independent influence on election results, and hence on the balance of advantages between participants in the political system struggle for representation and power. This power struggle, which is both dispersed and hampered by formal political procedures embedded in the electoral system, is clearly a clear reflection of social divide. In Malaysia, for example, political mobilizations develops as a result of ethnic tensions and power struggles between political parties representing various ethnic groups. Next is the fundamental rules govern the electoral system in Malaysia. The first is the rule that decides who is eligible to vote and who is not. The second to consider is the method of selection. Third, in plurality elections, the way a country or a group of voters is split into constituencies has a significant impact on electoral outcomes. Fourth, the divisions of the number of elections between the constituencies. Fifth, the determinations of constituent boundaries. And finally, because of the necessity for impartiality. These rules were inserted into the constitutions. The election system underwent significant changes both before and after the enlarged Federations of Malaysia was formed in 1963. The most efficient way to comprehend the core laws of the current Malaysian election system is to examine these 6 changes. Malaysia's authoritarian electoral regime is highlighted by severely restricted civil freedoms and liberties and competitive elections. Multi-party competitions are held on a regular basis for the purpose of selection. So, the meeting was hampered by arbitrary registrations, procedures, and permissions. As a result of media ownership patterns, license requirements, and other restrictions, communications has been suppressed. According to Gomez, the extensive non-compliance and territorial management, manipulations of campaigning and voting laws, and a first-past-the-post system that favored the ruling coalitions have limited their ability to compete. Authoritarian electoral regimes such as Malaysia's do little to reinforce their responsibilities by conducting elections that they are certain to win. Previous elite-level partnerships forged through the ruling party have provided them with long-term strength. So it's not because the race is uneven that the government is suppressed, but by the approaching elections. The elections reinforced both the ruling parties, established constitutions and the laws of elite-level unions. Like Brownlee said, elections under authoritarianism tend to reveal rather than drive political tendencies. Candidates and voters can change their behavior much more under electoral authoritarianism. In such conditions, governments that hold elections strive hard to guarantee that their terms of office are renewed. Even if competition appears to be minimal, opposition candidates and isolated voters may be enthralled by the prospect of an election and muster a surprising amount of bravery, allowing them to topple or alter the government.
Assalamualaikum, I am Nur Akila Shahira binti Hamidi. I will continue to the next point, which is the benefits of election to the ruling coalition. Firstly, election may guarantee ruling coalition monopolize authority. A competitive fight between political parties will assist in triumph and improve the democratic government. The mechanism for voting is election of a government, which help to reduce absolute authority. Moreover, the responsibility of voters is to select representatives to take such choices by themselves. However, elections do not surely enhance the degree of independence because freedom is linked to the powerful government and constitution. So generally elections are about leadership and political parties which coming together to obtain supremacy. Next, election also help to maintain sharing power to the ruling coalition. In Malaysia, usually all races are given the opportunity to become leaders through an election which are held democratically. In fact, differences in religion, culture and tradition also do not prevent a person from leading an area. The high value of unity is a strength and advantage that enables the political and economic stability. Moreover, leaders of different religions and cultures also can be elected, which gives advantage to the people of a race to comfortably communicate the problems occur in that area. Next, the benefits of election to the ruling coalition is mutual respect and understanding, which is on what ideas they want to achieve and the target of voters that they are looking for. The ideas must be something in it for everyone, which means that the voters may demand the government be accountable for them, because the voters have a direct influence over government policy. It is also important for coalition to build their base and looking forward on elections. Moreover, coalition must reach out to citizens to solicit feedback, acquaint them with the coalition, and ensure developed message resonates with persuadable voters. A public opinion has been essential issues, which majority of Malaysia talk about economic issues such as living, straighten economic opportunities, and misuse of public resources. Hence, the coalition also should fully understand voters' needs and what types of voters is the coalition looking to attract that must be beneficial to all of its constituent parts, which is must be something in it for everyone. Lastly, joint government is getting bigger chances to be nominated as the new leader. This thing happened because the government must always take good care of their supporters to gain more trust from them so that they will not turn around into another parties as there are many parties. So, the joint government should be more careful. In fact, the joint government needs to be always working hard to ensure the stabilization politics in the country to prevent any chaotic situation happen. So that the people will feel more safe because everything will be conducted perfectly as it should be. That's all for benefits of election to the ruling coalition. I will pass to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur Izzati Christina binti Sharudin and I will proceed with the disadvantages of electoral authoritarian region. The first point is the elite rebellion, which means that this elite society frequently see a government that is a view authoritarian or as ruler or an enforce, which means that the elite society is the one who to make a policy. This type of dictatorship cause unrest when it comes as the populace just could not do anything to prevent transformation. Due to this reason, ordinary people are liable for any inability in implementing policy and force others to account for the obtained result. Therefore, this style of governments may quickly be commended if everything goes well, but it can be easily be blamed if something goes wrong with any decision making is made. Next, I will proceed with the second part, which is no political freedom, which means that the only one the political party that control over the country, which means that the people have to follow and obey all the instructions without any objection that are implemented by the government, and they must be loyal to the leader. Therefore, this is the most unstable because the king relied only on the power of the iron nail to success in ruling and was loyal to him. Therefore, the government must provide or produce a leader who are tyrannical toward its people because they have only one power over a country. Hence, this leader must be efficient so that their position cannot be treated by any party and people stay loyal to them. The third of disadvantages of electoral authoritarian regime, which is democracy drain, that means that is the regime party doesn't typically eradicate them and allow them to result in regime change. That will lead to the reality that residents and the elite tendency to perceive and instead are pushed to hold onto a power. Therefore, the election can develop into a comparable structural limitation and despite differing incentives create a similar political dynamic. This is because that a sole review may not only be impractical but far more functional, that the people have to vote only one party that have a power over a country. The fourth of the disadvantages is manipulated information through media. This is one of the platforms that the political party use their power for the sake of maximizing voter by spreading information agenda by using a newspaper, television, program, social media platform that might be influence the voter and the society. So the voter will face the boundaries to have a fully access the news of the party candidate's agenda. Therefore, the political party use the media or media platform that have been significant for the party in the election by spreading their agenda to the voter for the sake of the party to win the majority of seats. So, this is one of the disadvantages that the media platform to blast the news until they are censored to the greater extent since they want to serve a proper public image.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Anissa binti Amiruddin. So I will present about the disadvantages to electoral authoritarianism, okay, by referring the slide in front of me. Alright, so the disadvantages to electoral authoritarianism was credibility may be compromised by perception of being aligned with the current government or subject to political influences. Okay, it is because authoritarianism is based on the principle of blind submission to authority where it opposed to individual freedom of thought and action. Okay, basically all the decision was based on the hands of a leader to decide without thinking about people's opinions. On top of that, there will be many issues that will be raised because of the dirty playing from the political influences. Alright, so as an example, okay, the responsible party who were questioning about the government capable and a solution to solve the problem during the pandemic because of COVID-19. Alright, as we know nowadays, there are too many people start feeling anxious because of the pandemic because it has disturbing their daily life and income to continue their life until they start think to give an idea towards the government about how to restore this country so that people can live as usual. Okay, and nevertheless, the effort will become useless because of this electoral authoritarianism which they oppose to individual freedom of thought and action. Okay, hence the people will slowly get bored with the action of the government who still cannot find the best for them. Okay, so next, however, on this slide is the ways to overcome the electoral authoritarian regime, okay, by coercive vote buying and disenfranchising. Okay, access to the development and offering gift initiative is so coercive. The ruling party offered gift link by an odds of alliance during the recruitment promotion. Okay, those who get present are required to publish documentation of dedication and to pride themselves on their faithfulness. Okay, the governing party implement this coercive technique and the politics of the gift. Okay, this grant should be documentation of dedication and to pride themselves on their faithfulness. Okay, the governing party implement this coercive technique and the politics of the gift. Okay, this grant should be constantly supervised by political authorities of power, including but not restricted to the access to development and other resources provided by the leading parties. Okay, so gift donation also acts as a tool to categorize voters in civilizations, okay, where political classification traditionally means life and death as a dangerous activity, okay. For a limited time, the forceful buying of voices was accomplished. The participating parties are optimistic before this electorate that they will gain significant margins. Unfortunately, in return for a pledge to vote for a candidate of the party who gave them gift, and many of them took a present and vote against the reigning parties on an electoral day. Okay, the election system was meant to prevent corruption against the governing party in conjunction with purchasing and voting method. Okay, so next, to overcome the electoral authoritarian regime is by enhanced doing democratic system also can overcome electoral authoritarian regime. Okay, in Malaysia, democracy is a system that has the involvement of all parties in the determining the leader. Okay, as in Malaysia, the system of parliamentary democracy is practiced as the king becomes the sovereignty of a country. Okay, in addition, democracy is a form of government with the power to make laws, and the structure of government is determined by the people. Okay, furthermore, Malaysia is also a country that uses a democratic system based on the federal system. Okay, based on this provision, the state of Perlis, Kedah, Pening, Perak, Selangor, Negeri Sembilan, Melaka, Johor, Pahang, Terengganu, Kelantan, Sarawak and Sabah have agreed to the concept of the establishment of Malaysia.
Assalamualaikum to Dr. Arif. My name is Nur Zulaika binti Azmi and my matrix number is 2019272068 from N4AM1104D. I hope you are in the pink of health. Today, I want to present to you about the ways to overcome the electoral authoritarian regime. Alright, next. Ways to overcome the electoral authoritarian regime was the media should release the actual agenda of the candidate. As we know nowadays, there has misusing the media to blast their agenda or interests. Basically, the media exposure should be fair and square and not being manipulated by the certain parties. So, the citizens should be aware towards the news that has been blasted by media, which we don't sure if they spread the news correctly or not, because there might be a chance that the news that has been spreading was just only according to the interest of the party. Thus, all of the participants of the election should be able to use media as a proper channel to get voters and supporters. Then, the ways to overcome the electoral authoritarian regime was they should become closer with the people. It is because with that way, people will not think the government is ignoring them. Furthermore, it was very important for people to make the right choice in choosing the leader of the country, which can help them to solving the problems. For instance, the government can start take the hearts of people with giving them various of help in terms of money, food or housing. That's all from me. Thank you.
In conclusion, election administrations in Malaysia extends beyond the voting system. To assure and amplify its own electoral win, Malaysia's dominant party has handled many other areas of the political system in a way that supports and increases the election system influence. Therefore, in Malaysia, the limited competitions permitted by electoral authoritarianism may be changing, and when causality extends further back, it has the potential to restructure elite relationships, alter institutions, and even reopen previously closed sites. elitist. The holding of regular, even scheduled elections serves as a vivid reminder of the government's reliance on the people as long as free voting is allowed and opposition parties are free to fight. So that's all from us. Thank you.